Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Today's class is Dotloop. We will be going through several items through Dotloop, how to use it in combination with Matrix, information and places where you can get some details. And of course, via the chat, I will be available to answer your questions. My name is Connie Nieto. I'm one of your Miami trainers, and Dotloop is one of the transaction tools that the association provides access to. I'm going to be sending details via the chat, including information on how you can contact your Miami trainers, ask us questions, and even more. I'm starting today by coming into miamirealtors.com, where of course, you can come in and log into the Miami Gateway. And once you log into the Miami Gateway, it brings you to the Clarity Gateway dashboard, where we can log into Matrix and we can find the transaction management tool of Dotloop right here. Dotloop has a dedicated page on your Miami website, which is miamirealtors.com/Dotloop. I will share that as well in the chat, where you can come in and see that there is special information for brokers and teams, a video depicting info, free information and how you get free 10 loops for your being a Miami member to use the system. There's guides, tutorials, and so much more on the page, a 5-minute worksheet, and the comparisons of what you get for free versus an upgrade of premium, which is your choice. The support number for Dotloop, to submit a request from them, the Dotloop mobile app, Dotloop for teams and brokers, and a testimonial. If any of you are interested, again, it's miamirealtors.com/Dotloop. How many of you have been having an extraordinary new year? I'd like to wish you all the very best. If you'd like to write to me, please send messages via the chat. Now to continue, I'm going to come back to the Gateway dashboard, where I want to show you that if I click through Dotloop, it will bring me to the Dotloop page. But I also want to go ahead and click through Matrix and open up Matrix. Dotloop is integrated into our MLS. When you log into Matrix, you can find information on Dotloop via the external links. You can also go ahead and find information within a listing. So if I come in and I search a listing, I click into the listing and Dotloop is available right here, Dotloop's smiley face. I will show you a little later, once we go into Dotloop, how to go ahead and use this to integrate. I also want to come directly to dotloop.com. I'm going to go ahead and sign out. And if this is your first time, you can actually come to dotloop.com and sign up to receive access to the system. You can get started by putting your full name, email address, a password that must contain at least one letter or one number, no spaces, and be at least 6 characters. You can select from your role, realtor agent, and select from your state. And this is to be able to provide you the forms. And then you go ahead and click sign up for free. The next time you can come in, you can simply click to sign in and sign in with your email, your password. And this will be the same thing that you use if you're logging in to the mobile version, the mobile app. Once in the system, if you're new, you won't see anything yet here, but these are recent transactions, recent loops. Each of these is considered a loop. From this page here, we're going to start by coming to the very top and searching. You may have your initials and name here. And we want to come and click on the down facing arrow and click into the My Account area. In the My Account area, when I click through, I'm going to come to My Information, where you're going to see Dotloop, right? I have upgraded to premium where you would see Dotloop, you would see account settings, and you would review your personal information. Here under personal info, you can add your photo. This will then show when you email your customers. You can come in and put your name, last name, role that you can select from, email address, a fax number, a phone number, and take a minute and put in your legal name under the e-sign in case you have to sign documents. And choose and select your initials by typing them in. These will be used if you have to sign a document using your Dotloop account. Any questions so far? Alrighty, we'll continue then. Company name, you go ahead and you put your brokerage, your title, type it in. Tagline, and then your NRDS number. How many of you know your NRDS number? The NRDS number is the number allocated to you by the National Association of Realtors. Let's see if our clarity is working right now. And I'm going to come in through the Gateway dashboard to show you that under the My Dashboard area, you can come and find your NRDS number, your NERDS number. Let me go ahead and click on home. Put no, I don't want to update my profile. And here you have my name, my photo, up and coming events, right? And here is my NRDS number. You can also search directly at the National Association of Realtors, but since you may have already been logged in to Miami Realtors and the Gateway, I wanted you to see that you had your info there. I could have copied this, come back to Dotloop and pasted it in. The next thing I want to show you is that you can come to the very bottom, put in your address if you like, even though I would not recommend putting your home address, and you would click save. I will then continue up to the top and come to the very side. We did account settings. We're going to come and do profiles. In the profile area, you can change your profile like I have to realtor, if that's what you'd like to call it. Put in your office or your phone number, add a fax number. And here you will identify yourself as an agent, a broker, right? Etc. What this does, right, is confirm that you have a license number and the same numbers that you use to log into the MLS. That is what you would put here under agent license number. The next segment that's important is brokerages and associations. And I'm going to take a minute and remove the Miami Association of Realtors. I do want you to note that when you do click to add association, if Florida shows here, you must remove it. And once you've removed it, you type in Miami. And the Miami Association of Realtors with a green check will show is the one located in 700 South Royal Point, Siena. Once you've selected this, you would click add, and it will ask you for an invitation code. The invitation code for Dotloop is all lowercase and together Miami 12. I'll leave it on screen in case you want to take a picture of it or you want to jot it down. Again, all lowercase and together the word Miami and number 12. Once you click confirm, all is well, and you have added the association. Adding the association then means that you will have access to the Miami forms, which includes access for you to the Florida forms. Note that if your brokerage has assigned an add-in, you can add your brokerage here. Please contact your office manager or your broker to see if they have information. They may want you to, if they want you to use a particular sheet or info that they're providing. The next area is company name, where you can put your brokerage address and contact info. And then your notifications, you can select to be notified and click through and sign if you want documents signed, shared, etc. Same with email notifications. You can select how you want to be notified, and these include documents shared, documents signed, your signature required, compliance review notes received, compliance status of a loop is updated, office adds to tags or loops or documents, my office writes a review note about a loop or document, and a daily task reminder. You select from notification and email settings, and then on the lower right, click Save. Once you have saved, we come to the very top, and there is a document preference area where you can see the default font, font style, font color, font type, and a preview of what they look like. You can select, the invitation code, I'll share it with you via the chat. It is Miami, all lowercase, 12. Where you would add that in. Do you need me to show you where to add that in? You're very welcome. That's the key to getting the documents, and I'll show you in a second. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is bring you up to come back to your main page. You can always click on the word Dotloop and it will bring you back. We came first into the area here. And if you added your photo, you will see your photo and description. Here you also have the help center. I'm going to click through there a second and let you know that you have a help center for agents, admins, team leaders, service providers, buyers and sellers, and integration. And in this help center, it'll help you get started. There's frequently asked questions, new features, agent topics, how to add an association, subscription management, how clients sign, assigning signatures, sharing documents, and webinars. So what I'm going to do here for a second is show you how a client signs, just to let you see. And here you have a demonstration on how they can adopt a signature.
In this video, we will be demonstrating the client signing experience. So to begin this video, I will already be in an email inbox, and this is where you would receive any notifications to sign a document from your agent. We'll click and open this email, and your agent may have typed a message that would appear right above View Document, but we're just going to click on View Document. At this point, now that the document has been opened, we can scroll through and take a look at everything. And when we're ready to start signing, we'll just click Start Signing in the top right. And that will take us to our first field. Now, the first field that you click on, whether it's a signature or initial, we are going to ask you to adopt your signature. The first thing that pops up here will be this cursive signature preview. So we could accept that, or we could draw our signature. And I'm not going to do that great because I'm on a trackpad, but if you're on a touchscreen device, this will be a lot better. And we could adopt and sign with this drawn signature if we wanted to. I'm pretty happy with the way this looks, so I'm just going to click Adopt and Sign. And then that will go to the next field where I can pop in my initials or my signature there. And everything will be automatically date and time stamped as you're clicking and placing your signatures and initials. And once you've completed all the fields that were assigned to you, you'll just come up here to the top right and click Finish Signing. You may be offered some trusted service providers from your agent. You will also be offered a free Dotloop account. Now, this is not required for you to keep moving throughout the transaction with your agent, but you can create a Dotloop account. You can sign in on your phone, your tablet, your computer, and see all the documents that you've signed or that you need to sign. And now you will have another email in your inbox letting you know that you have signed this contract of purchase, and you can review this signed version.
So you have this information and more available through your help desk, training videos, mobile releases, and loops. Coming back to our mate.loop page here, I also want to show you that when we close out from here, you have an area for templates. If I click into templates and you belong to a brokerage that has already created templates for you, meaning that they've already selected forms, you may see those here. Note that when you added the association, in essence, what you were doing is adding underneath documents, personal Miami Association documents. And what this has is the ever sought out Florida forms. So if we needed an as is, you would come to the template area and start to type as is, and you will see what is available. If you needed to use Dotloop to get your listing presentation ready, right, and you want your listing agreement, you would of course come in and type listing agreement and select from vacant land, commercial, or whatever it is that your broker would tell you to select. The other item that is also available here, since you're a Miami member, is once at listing presentation, you may want to also interact with your customer and go ahead and have them fill out the forms. And we have the SEF forms, which are Southeast Florida forms, and they are the input forms. If you've taken an MLS of, I believe, yes, it's 401 class, you can see the data input forms there, and we talk about entering listings into the system. It's our ad edit class. And here you have business opportunity, residential, condo, residential income, residential rental, improved, residential land, and commercial. So all of your input forms are available here. Another way to interact with the system and prepare is come after you visited templates. I'm going to come over to the person, and this is your people area where you can add trusted service providers to set up utilities, home improvement, mortgage, home security, home inspection, moving and storage, warranty, attorney, set up other services, escrow and title, and home setup. So you can add your contacts to this area here. Under people, you can always select under contacts, and under the contact area, you can add individual folks that you're going to be working with, your customers, by clicking add person, putting in their full name, email address, phone, cell phone, street number, street unit, country, a zip code, their role, are they buyer, listing agent, buyer, seller, admin, appraiser, etc. Fax number, street name, city, province, company name. If you're interested in the privacy policy, you have a copy of the privacy policy here. I will share it with this via chat with you. Coming back into Dotloop, you will then, once you add your person, have them in alphabetical order. And for the people you do have, you can select to delete if you needed to delete, right? You can import from Google or import from Outlook also. So if you have a Google list or an Outlook list, you can directly do your import of your contacts to the people area in the system. Next over, right, I'm going to come back to the very top and click on Dotloop. And I want to show you that they look a little different, but the template and the people are here. Next, I want to show you tasks. Each individual loop, which is a transaction, can have its own tasks. So you can see completed, overdue, all tasks are assigned to me. Next to that, you have the loops. Of course, this brings you back to the area where you can search for loops. And after that, you have reporting. Reporting is an area that will allow you to see the total sales for the last 60 days, the total loops for the last 60 days, loops without prices, loops via easy join, etc., for you to have some statistics on what it is that you're doing and it's happening through. It lets you mark your loops as complete, under contract, fell through, and starting, so you can have a gauge on what's going on. Coming back to loops, which is the same as clicking on the dot loop here, we're going to start by adding a loop. In this area, we have an activity log, notifications. You can search by address, title, MLS number, etc. You can add filters to hide archived, show all, the loop types, including no transaction type, listing for sale, lease, purchase, lease, real estate other or other, loop status, including no status, pre-listing, private listing, active listing, under contract, withdrawn, sold, terminated, leased, pre-offer, new, in progress and done, and then review stage. You can also sort by creation date, last updated, transaction price, listed date, expiration date, closing date, submitted for review, and contract agreement. You can also view your loops in grid view, in list view, and in compact view. I switched it back to grid because I like it. I like the idea of the photo. You can actually start a loop, which is a transaction, by clicking the plus add loop. You can use an MLS number, or if you're insured, put in the address. Let's say that you are going to list a property. It's not listed. You're going to list it. You go ahead and select it. You continue. You can upload a photo if you choose by clicking upload and adding it. If you don't have one, you do done, and it creates your loop. For those of you that are considering using the 10 free that are also associated and work with your Miami 12 code, I would watch these videos repeatedly and simulate, but not create loops, because every loop that you create will take from the 10 that you get for free. Once you have a loop created, you can come in and select the type. If it's listing for sale, listing for lease, purchase, lease, real estate, or other. So let's say it's listing for sale. Status, pre-listing, private listing, active listing, under contract, withdrawn, sold, terminated. So let's say it's pre-listing, and enter the price. You can actually come to view loop or create another loop, where you can see the details as well. You can add from templates your forms. This is why I asked if you had your brokerage to add them as well. You can come and select add association documents. Let's say you need a listing agreement. And at your brokerage, they tell you to use the exclusive right of sale. And let's say they make you use that one. You go ahead and you copy it, select it, and copy it in. And you have them here. You can browse. So let's say that you have a form that you use in your office, or there is a form for the association, etc. You can browse on your computer. You can also email it. If the association is going to send it to you, instead of you having to download and save and upload, what you can do is copy the clipboarded address and email directly to Dotloop. You can also come in and click into the system, right? And upload a photo for it. So let's say this is the photo for the listing. You can add people to your transaction. Let's say I'm the listing agent and I want to add And their role, I want to say that they're the seller, and I can add their contact information. I can send them an intro if I want, or explain the system. I can add the person to my transaction. I can add the property address, parcel ID info, financial information, including sale price, commission split, and more, contract details, offer details, inspection date, simply by clicking and putting in information, etc. Transaction number, maybe you follow transaction numbers in your offices. Class or type, if you do that. If there's a referral, and what's the referral fee, and who is the referral source. Listing details, geographic description, property description, and more. And I can click save. I'm still within the loop. To get to this area that I was in, I come to the very top, and I want to show you, I was in my loop and I clicked on the address, and that's how I got to that area. The information that you then provide will be available here. You can add a task. You can load a template. You can put in a task item, like they say inspection. You can assign it or put a due date of today, tomorrow, this week. You can review the document that you have by clicking on it. Once you've assigned a role, that is a key element, and notice that the people assigned will show. You can add additional if you have, including listing broker. You can put the property address or MLS number here as well. Financial information, listing agent info, which is yours, seller and the info you've provided, listing, etc., and autofill. And what that does is your listing agreement will be partially filled with the information you put into Dotloop, and then you can come and click and select, right? Autofill, more, add initial signatures and strike-throughs if needed, file and download, etc. But since this is a Florida form, your seller details will show. So it'll show you where they need to sign. You can save and click to save and share, and automatically share with your customer and click to share. Now, this was one way of transacting with Dotloop. The next way is as what? An agent who's looking into the system, into Matrix, has found the property that their customer is interested in and simply wants to click over to Dotloop to start the offer process. So you click, it's going to ask you to create a loop. It'll have the information, and you click create. Okay. You'll have details here. You can select to view the details. You see the transaction information. You can select the type, the status. You can add your customer. Okay. Wants to try to autofill. So I was trying to show you how it will show you your customer's info. So let me just go ahead and add it in. Here we go. And their role would be the buyer, right? You can add in their details if you like and add the person. That's why it's nice to have them in the system, because then it will already have their details. That's why one of the first things I showed you was how to add the people, how you can integrate them one by one or use your Outlook or Google to add them in. Now you have property here, and there was an MLS number. So what I'm going to do is come back into Matrix and copy the MLS number. Right? Copy it from the screen, come back to Dotloop, and I'm going to paste it in. Notice that it shows up right here, and I want that source, and I want to import the data. Why do I want to import the data? Because if I look into Matrix, it has the information on the legal description, square footage with a symbol in front, as well as folio, which means that it's updated as far as a tax service. So when I come in, that information is already an integral part of my property info. It brings it in, parcel ID, right? I can add the financial information or the commission split or the rate, right? I can put that the deposit's going to be, 75K, right? Who it's held by, if I wanted to, the percent of the split, let's say it's 3%, and I want to put that in. Contract date, let's say we're going to do the contract by this Friday, closing date by the end of the month. Offer dates, we're going to do the inspection this week on Tuesday. The offer date, let's say it'll be Friday, expiration of the offer, Monday, the 17th, occupancy date, the closing, right? You can do your contract details, referrals, listing information. It'll bring the geographic details that it has according to the MLS. It will have the property details under bedrooms, the bedroom, one bath, the square footage, the type of property, and you click save. And what you've done is you've put integral details because you added in the MLS number. So you brought in and imported that data. Now we go back to the loop and you can discuss with your broker what are the forms or templates that you need, and you can come into the template area, click, and let's say that you need an as-is form. That's what he's requiring, right? Or you can use the as-is contract, whichever of the two they tell you, and you copy it in. Once you go ahead and copy it in, you put OK, and the system is going to ask you to open it. You click on open it, and it will let you review. You have your autofill information, who's the buyer, etc., the financials, and what you can do is autofill from the data that you've put in. Now that's integrated into the system, right into the form, address, information, initial deposit, and let's say the sale price is $480, and that's what we're going to offer, right? There's 2 rows assigned. There's the buyer's information, okay? And let's say that you're ready to save it, not to send just yet, like I had shown you before, but you want to save. What you can do is then come back into the system. I don't want to share it just yet. I want to show you, and I have it right here. If I need to add an external document, I can come back to add a document. I can email it, browse through the system, or add another templated document. I can then come and select the documents that I want, either all of them or one, and I can archive, meaning that I'm not going to use them because there's no delete in Dotloop. I can make a copy of them. I can open them, which is what I did to review. I can print. I can download a copy to my computer. I can fax it if I have premium, and I can share it from here. When I go to share it, the system has registered who the listing agent and who my buyer I've marked. The first time I want actually my buyer to go ahead and approve, and he'll have 13 fields, and I can choose if they can view only, sign, can fill and sign, and can edit in private. I can enter a custom message. And I can click to share, and it'll go to that person's email. Once I've done that and I close out my pop-up, it'll tell you, right, that the document is waiting for others and it's shared with Constance. So that's who it's waiting for. Now, if you give me 1 second. I'm going to open up my Gmail on another browser so I can be able to show you. Let me switch my my view so I can share with you my new screen. Here I am on Safari, and notice that I got please review an email, and here it is, and they can view the document, the importance of your photo, and adding in your information so that they can see it with ease, the loop info. And all they have to do as a customer, now this is us looking at us at the customer, they would click to view the document. And much like the video we saw, they can review and read the document. And to initiate, they can start to sign. They can say when they're done. They can adopt the signatures that are available or draw one, agree to the e-sign consumer disclosure, continue to click through, and I want you to show you with the ease. It does date and timestamp each one of the signatures or initials. It's very easy to use. Finish signing. If you would recommend this app. Sign in if you have your own sign in. And then I want you to see as well that you can come back to the system and the customer, this is for them to review, and this is a copy where they can review and share what they have signed. This was the customer side, okay? Now, once they've signed, how does it look for you? Well, let's come and let's switch and let me show you. Here's Google, and if I refresh, instead of saying waiting on others anymore, it says signed, shared with Constance, and now I have that version of the document available. And now if I wanted to, I could directly send to the listing agent. Did you like the process? It's clean, it's swift, email signature is included, right? If your broker uses this system, might as well integrate to what they use, and it is a great tool. I tried to show you both the customer and your side, especially with this part here, because since it does integrate the data from the MLS, you first send to your customer, and then you can send back to the agent from the system with ease. It is easy. Now, the other thing I like to show you is, I'm going to come back to loops. I'm going to click on the very top, and I want you to see, right, that your recent transactions are here. Okay, you can see your activity log in the system, what you've done. Okay, I'm going to come back to loops. All righty. You can actually come into a loop and mark it and change it. Okay. You can come into filters. And let's say that you also want to see your purchase, because here I don't see my purchase. I can click apply. So now I have the first one, the listing, and I also have my Brickell apartment here. I can come, and if I wanted to, I can mark this as sold with the sale price, right? And then I'm going to come back to the Dotloop, and as I marked it as sold, I'm going to come to reporting. It doesn't have anything quite here yet, but here it is, my sold. I wanted you to see that it'll give you 60 days of your activity if you come back and mark it. So what I mean by mark it up is change the status. So the status here, I changed to sold, and automatically it marked it. If I change the status here, right, to terminated, I can archive something directly from here. I can refresh and remember that I had for the archive not to show, so it no longer shows. All right. And that concludes our Dotloop class. Thank you so much for being Miami members. I hope that you've enjoyed the course. Key element, as Felipe had asked, was that notification, the Miami invitation code, which is Miami 12, all lowercase, no space, Miami, and then the number 12, which I have shared with you. I did want to let you know that Villa Title was our sponsor today. I want to share their information. Here's Villa Title's information if you're interested. It's always a good idea to create a team, to learn about other people that you can work with, and to have information. Villa Title and Closing Services LLC does have information on a page where you can see services, clients, escrow deposits, their staff info, how they work with realtors. They even have a net sheet calculator available to you, okay? And a contact area. So you can go ahead and contact and work with them. I've sent you the details. If you need my contact information, I'm going to share it again as well. If you have any questions, I'm available. If you have any, I'll be right here for a couple more minutes. It's been a pleasure. The class has been recorded, so what I will do is go ahead and take that recording, and in the next couple of days, place it onto YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel dedicated to our members, and sessions like this one are available to you. You simply come to youtube.com/miamitrainers. And if you search the bar here for Dotloop, you'll see the videos. I'm going to go ahead and view the full playlist and share with you from here. When I do edit, the editing will be available. I want to thank you again for being Miami members. The Miami 12 is actually an integral part of what we do. You want to make sure that you come on the upper right-hand side when you log into the system and come into your account area. And when you click profiles on the account area, you scroll down and there will be a brokerage and association area where you can add your brokerage or association. And I taught them how to add the association. Type in Miami, remove Florida if it appears, and then it's going to ask you for an invitation code. And that's the invitation code of Miami 12. And as I mentioned on that YouTube playlist that we have available to you, you do have additional videos available, right? And this may be where I add the recording for today's class. Aliana, did I answer? Oh, okay, you're welcome. Wanted to make sure. I want to wish you all a wonderful 2020, a magnificent afternoon. Stay safe and see you soon. Take care.